Hello everyone, my name is Tiffany, I'm the Tipsy Artist. Today we are painting a super cute snowman. Merry Christmas everyone. So this is what he will look like. He's adorable. Let me turn him so you can kind of I love it. All right, so we're going to learn all kinds of fun stuff with this. How to do a wonderful kind of splatter effect to make stars in the sky and to make snow and a cute button nose and all kinds of good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and switch views. We just wanted to say hello before we start painting. All right, so here we are. We're also going to be using my one of our painting kits. So got the trace all done. And all of our supplies are out. Let me switch cameras here. All right. Good deal. Okay, so we've got our paint nearby, water, brushes, our paint plates. We're all set. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my mama brush. And I've done my trace. I did go ahead and realign everything with the permanent marker that comes in the kit, so that makes it a lot easier for me. So I'm going to start here with just a little bit of water. And I'm going to go ahead and push this into, we've got our primary cyan blue, and then our titanium white. And we're going to have a little mix of both of those. I'm going to pick up a dollop of the primary cyan blue, and then a little dollop of the white. We're going to mix both of those just about equal parts there. But I also want to have the paint to reach back into because I'll use some in a pure form too. I'm going to mix that up a little bit, both of those. I'm going to start to just do a little bit of a cross stroke here over the top. You can add a little bit of water too. Makes the paint a little bit more fluid, easier to spread around, just back and forth. I'm also going to dip into the pure white now, pushing that in. Some of this I just actually mix in on the canvas itself. And I'm going to start to hold my brush a little bit more over to the side, parallel to the canvas. Dip into a little bit of white, and push that back and forth. It gives some nice variation in the sky. Lots of repetition here with that cross stroke, again, just back and forth. Light touch there. I also go in with a little bit of the pure primary cyan blue. It's also really nice in there too. Little touches of that as we work. So it's basically alternating between just using the pure primary cyan blue with a little bit of white, some of that in the pure form, and then just back and forth, and then also picking up some of that light blue mix that we did as we worked. Now as we come in near the star, we're going to do a little bit of a cut-in work now. So instead of holding the brush over to the side, we're going to hold it more like you hold a pencil, but you can see how there's a very thin line edge. So we get that with firm pressure, pushing back and forth like that, nice thin line edge. Then we can use this to go ahead and make a nice thin line around our star here. And then when we work out into the larger area, then we can turn that brush back over to the side. A little bit of white. And go back and forth there. And there's more of that line edge. Get all that cut in here first. And then turn it more over to the side. A little bit of white. And then we kind of crisscross it back and forth. we cut in around the hat, we're going to go back to that line edge stroke. And as we go down the outer edges, and turn back over to the flat side. And remember to kind of crisscross it back and forth. Get that nice varied brush stroke happening in the background. And softly feather in those brush strokes. A little bit of water in here too with the blue and the white. Just pass it back and forth. Smooth that out. Bottom. And then Cyan blue, white. Cut in around the hat. Just press it back and forth. Alright, so we have our beautiful sky, and then we can come back in and just kind of feather out, smooth out the background, big broad strokes, just cross that back and forth, kind of smooth that out a little bit. And this soft, blended background. Alright, very pretty. Let's go ahead and rinse out now. And then we're going to go ahead and work in a little bit of some, let's see the black in the background. So that's just Mars black. I'm using my little buddy brush to start with here. Add a little bit of water to that. Just use like a corner to get into that small area, or you could use a little bit in there too. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to add a little touch of white to this to make a dark charcoal gray. I'm going to not lose this line here. There's a little bit of a snow, edge that comes in here. Lighten that up a little bit. I'm going to come back in with some black underneath that, and I'm going to make sure that stays separated so you see the distinction with the liner and the hat there. And I'm going to change my mind on that hat band. It's like a soft gray here, but I'm going to actually make it red in here. I'm going to rinse out, dry out. Let's go in with a little bit now. And just pure black. Pure Mars black. We're going to come in underneath. side. Super cute. Alright, now let's go ahead and do a little red hat band. We're using Cadmium Red for that. And a little bit brush. Going to cut in around the little holly leaves here. And then we have little berries. I'm going to do a different technique. I'm going to use the handle of the brush, get down into the paint, and I'm just going to press straight forward, straight down, and that will make cute little dots. See, and that's very easy to do. You can also make your eyes that way too if you're pushing in the black of your eyes, or you can use your permanent marker to do that. Alright. So I'm going to give this a minute to set up and dry before I come back in and do the holly leaves, because otherwise I could run into all that red paint and then mix it with my green, and they don't mix very well together. Not a complementary mix. So we're going to let that have some set up and dry time. Oh, the hat there. And I was going to tell you too, there's a little bit of a, I'm going to do a soft white overlay on top of the snowman now. So we have white. Now you can also do a little bit of a cream look too if you want. But for today I'm going to do just pure white, I think. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this in over the top. I'm going to add a lot of water to this to make it very translucent. You can also just let the white of your canvas be your white. It is painted and primed white just that way. I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like. I'll do this on the head, and then I'm going to let this do the cheek down here so you can see a difference in technique. Alright. Let that set up and dry for a little bit. Now we're going to come in with some Cadmium Green. I just add a little bit of white to my Cadmium Green, just a little touch into a dollop of green, and then a little touch of white. And then I'm going to go ahead and push this over the scarf. And this permanent marker circle, see how it's bleeding through? See, that's why I didn't have to worry too much about covering that up, because it's going to bleed right through, and then I'll be able to see it and come back in and follow up with those circle shapes here in just a little bit. And same thing here on this side. Give us just a touch of white with our Cadmium Green. Very, very cute. Let's go ahead and rinse out. And then let's go ahead and use the little bit brush. Still using Cadmium Green, a little touch of white, but now we're going to come in and do our little leaves. So I've got a little line that comes up through the center, and then little tiny diagonal lines that come out away from that. do a little twirl into the paint to make the head of the brush a little bit more thin. And then also a little line, and then little diagonal lines off of the sides. And then we have little poly leaves in here too, so I'm just going to paint into those shapes. And we have more like a leafy leaf, little circular leaves. I'm going to paint into that too. Just lean into that line art that's already there for you, and just put right into it. A leaf right there, a leaf right there. See it touches. And it's more of like a pencil hold, give you a lot more control there. And we have another leaf right up here peeking out just behind the Cardinal. Just a bit more of that spark. Very pretty and bright. Now we've got some mittens underneath here. I'm going to go ahead and go back in with that bright red. This is that Cadmium Red. And we're going to paint into our Cardinal here. Now, look at that water there. Get that out of there. Just touch of the napkin. And grab more paint. Place this over the body of the bird. There's his beak. I'm going to let that be blank because I'm going to push in a little bit of some yellow here over the top. Okay, and then we have little berries right here. So I'm going to use that little handle trick. I'm going to dip into the red. This one. And you can use a little small for those, so you know, if you have a bigger brush, use Mama, dip into the red. You can make a much bigger circle that way too. And we have little pink cheeks, so I'm going to do a little touch of white with my red. Like a light pink here. Really light, make that really light. These are our little bit brushes, kind of push to each side in a half circle. So a little bit of a pressure push to each side. Those bristles kind of spread out. Right, let's go ahead and rinse out. Alright, let's grab some Cadmium Yellow. We'll go off with that. We're going to use just a little touch of this to make the teeny tiny little beak right here, little triangle. And then we're also going to use this in the nose here. Press that out in a nice little circle. A little touch of that pink now, and while the paint's still wet, we're just going to do a soft little curve. And let's go back to that cadmium and softly kind of blend that in. And rinse out. I'm going to use this Cadmium Yellow again to make the mittens. I'm going to do a few little color changes here. So I've got a little bit of the mittens here and here. Just want a little bit more contrast. If you want red mittens, you can use red mittens. Or if you want that brick red, I'll show you how to mix that up too. You don't have to look at that. Alright, just grab the color here. And just tiny little touches in here. I lay the brush over on the side to work into the larger area. Get nice coverage in there. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit more of the green and the white just to work back in over the top one more time. Get a little bit of that leafy look over the top of the mitten there. Now, if you do like the look of the really dark kind of brick red here, what you do is you take a big dollop of the red and a teeny tiny touch of the black. Always pre-mix that on your plate because it can go pure black really quick. I'll show you how dramatic that is. See, it just went black super fast. So again, more red. Now that's more of a brick red, so you can do that too. I'm going to use a little bit on the green here, now that I've got it. Good top here with that. I'm going to come back in with some this pure white now. A little bit brush. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little circles. And hold it with a pencil. Just going to work it around with a circular motion here. Spin it round and around. Just making fun little white polka dots. Very, very cute. Now let's go ahead and rinse out. And let's see, I need powder leaves up here. So again, this is our green, and I have white. It'll swirl into the paint to get a nice fine point. And we're just going to work back into that little powder leaf here. And then as an option, you can leave just the white circles, or you can do with a red ring around it, so I would use my little bit brush and just do a real delicate little red line around that. Now we're going to do a little bit of snow here on the hat. And drag it across there. And this other side. And a little bit of snow up at the top here. And drag it across. Lift off with a right hand. And maybe a little bit of white texture here. Move that out. Soft curve. And on this other side. Let's go ahead and use Mama. And working on that right here. And you can leave this just hard black line, or you can make kind of a dark charcoal gray too. Mix in a little bit of black with your white, push that out. A little bit of water. Makes it a little bit easier to move. And right over the top, and put in with more of that white. Right over the top. Soft blend between the two. And then let's softly kind of feather those brush strokes out using a bigger brush, Mama, and softly work that in. Now, let's go ahead and rinse out. And let's do our little eyes over the top here. Let's use the end of the handle trick and into the black. Let's just touch right over the top there. Okay, makes that really easy. And draw that off. And then using the Pea Size for a really delicate touch, very tiny amount of black, and just working that little happy face. And a little bit of water too. Make it a bit more fluid, easier to move. This is also something that you could use your permanent marker with too. You just have to make sure the paint's dry underneath. Got a little happy face. Alright, very cute. And making a little bit of this detail here with the camera, kind of the nose here and the face. Kind of dropping that in a little bit. And we have a little crease here in the scarf, so I'm going to do a little touch of this black and with that green and the white. to create a little bit of a shadow. So see how that's a much darker green, so I'm going to do a little shadow there. Make a little fold onto the scarf there. Very nice. We have our white star. Now I'm going to teach you how to do that real fun little splatter with that. So we're going to come in with our little buddy brush and just pure white paint. Put it on the end there, and then go into the water. Dunk it a few times. Pour water here. We're going to start to use our finger on the edge here, and just, we're going to run it along the edge of the brush. And then mouse all the way. What I do. Really try to create that fun little snowy sky. More water. And if you get a little bit of a drop on there that's a little bit big, just take your napkin and just barely touch down right over the top. It'll lift it right up. Oh, and I think I accidentally ran my hand through my scarf a little bit. Oh, I can make that look more like snow. That's what I'm going to do. I always like to say there are no mistakes, only possibilities. There we go. Very, very cute, y'all. Love it. There's our cute little snowman. And if you want to make his eyes a little bit bigger, of course you can always come back in with more brushwork, or as the paint sits up and dries, using your permanent marker over the top. And signature with that is also much easier than painting that on. But yes, there we are. We are done. He is a cutie pie. And we had so much fun painting with you all today. So again, all the supplies that you need are on our website, tipsyartist.com. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Merry Christmas to everyone. And sending much love to y'all too. See you soon. Toodles.